Okay guys, gotcha over here on the SIP MP5 boring mill, a jig bore. Got the Hendey saddle on top of it here. And I mentioned before, this machine is great because of the size of its table. And what I'm doing is one of the bolt holes for bolting the saddle here down to the apron needs to come forward like 45 thousandths, okay? That hole right there, it has a 3/8 Allen head screw in it with the shank turned down because of the misalignment, and this is a factory situation. So what I'm going to do is indicate that in for center and then just mill it over 40 thousandths or 45, whatever I said. Wanted to show you my setup. So we're sitting down on the flat surface on the back side. So that's kind of our gauge. And on the front, got some parallels for stack height. Excuse me, and a little height jack right there. And if I can kneel down, in the back I got the same thing. I got a little screw jack and 2/8 inch parallels to make up a 1/4 inch of height. And then of course I got a clamp and some spacer bricks in the back. I got a clamp, some spacer bricks in the front. Then I got the same thing. I got a clamp, some spacer bricks, a little shim, and some washers, and that just pushes down. Actually, I've got two little height jacks underneath there. There's a dowel pin sticking down, but I got 2 height jacks in the front. One, excuse me, one in the back, and I got these clamps, right? All to set up for that hole. Now this thing's parallel with the ways. I just eyeballed that. In the collet of the spindle, I have a little plunger indicator, and then I've got a Brown and Sharp parallel sitting on the back wing of the saddle and on the front wing of the saddle. So this is my parallel straight line reference mark. So what I'm going to do is indicate the hole where I got it, and it's a 9/16 counter bore with a 3/8 through hole. I'm going to use a 9/16 end mill, move the top counter bore over, and then a 9/16 3/8 end mill, and move over the actual hole. Doing a little cheating with my little travel indicator. So that's the axis I'm going to use, and it's quicker that way. I cheat on this axis too and use the 3-inch travel indicator. So let me set up for center and continue on. Doozer shop. And just like that, the hole is done. Use the 9/16 end mill for the counter bore. Man, can you see if it's it is slotted over? And then I slotted the 3/8 with an end mill. Mill down and show you the pile of chips there. So I'm going to call this done. Put it back on the lathe. Alright guys, I'm going to try and show you a picture of this. On the wing of the apron here, on the saddle, this is where I milled out that slot. Actually, hold on a second. Let me see here. Multifunctional. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see right down in there. So the threads are now centered. The threads in the apron are now centered with the counter bore and the hole in the saddle, right? So that looks good. That looks really good. See, the problem was it was not centered, and you had to use the screwy bolt that was neck down. And the factory had this in there, and well, somebody had it in there, and it was ground by hand, and I spruced it up the undercut in the lathe, but then I decided, you know what, I just need to put a regular bolt in there. Cap screw, whatever you guys want to call it. So that was the fix. So I didn't have to lift the saddle up when I was attaching the apron. So I'm going to continue on putting this together, hopefully for the last final time. Doozer Shop. Alright, Doozer Shop, we have found a new hand wheel for the carriage on the Hendey tool and gauge maker lathe. It had just a broken handle and just a hub left. So this one I had in storage, in inventory, and I believe it's from a Delta unisaw, I think. It's cast iron. It's got an 1.125" hub bore. It looks like it was chromed at one time, kind of faded. Yeah, I think that was a Delta unisaw handle. So what I'm going to do, it's got a handle that spins. Kind of cool. I've got the old hub. And the old hub, I turned off the broken bits. And the thing that makes it a little unique, it's a 5/8 hole with a 1/8 key, keyway. Usually it's for 5/8 shaft, it's a 3/16 keyway. So anyhow, when we're using the old cast iron hub, this was the pulley. I got it pressed onto a mandrel. I got a 1/2 thou interference fit, and I got a 5/8 collet. This is the Sagami chucker lathe, right? Love this lathe. Got it tooled up with everything I need. I just love using this. And this drill chuck, you can put it right on center. It's got a stop there. You just run that cross slide to the stop, and then this will end up on 0. Look what a nice big dial this thing has. Man, it's like a beautiful, accurate dial. Anyhow, I've been turning the cast iron. You can see the chips coming off. I got a few more 45 thousandths more to go. Not super killing it. 20 thou at a time. Let me show you. We'll do a cut here. Turn it on. Power feed, and it should start to, there it goes. And I got indicators I pull down off that rod there for threading. Nice sharp 1/4-inch carbide triangle insert. I know I'm going slow, but I think I've got a very light press fit on that mandrel, so I don't want to slip anything. But this Sagami lathe is a honey. It's like a Harding. You adjust the feed over there. See, it's creeping along, merrily along. I got a 2-inch travel indicator just mounted on an adjustable block here for end stop position. So anyhow, I'm going to get ready to stop it. That's it. I'm gonna go a few more thousandths to make sure everything fits. I'm gonna creep up on my fit. It's inch and 1/8. I might make it a thou on the heavy side. But that's gonna be the new hand wheel. I had it over there. It looks kind of good. And I'm lucky. The proportions of the handle, the crank handle, were very good. It's a light pattern handle, which I like for this lathe. And it just happened to have an 1 1/8 bore, which is going to work out, you know, turning my hub down to size. You can see I got the mandrel pressed in there. All right, let me get machining on here and I'll bring you back and show you how it looks. Doozer shop. All right, here she is, folks. Got the handle on the hub and the hub on the carriage apron. There she is. I like it. Let me see here. Oh yeah. Sweet. Sweet, sweet. Nice. Let's see, how far do these stick out? So that's interesting. There's a side shot. There's the crank handle. So I would say, let me get you in plane here. So this handle sticks out just a little bit more than my grossly extended power feed handles. And the one that sticks out the most is the cross feed. Let's see, that's that. There you go. Is the cross feed. So I don't think that this thing is gonna, I mean, I think it's gonna be perfect. I think this thing, side shot, the controls are at a perfect location away from the bed. Yeah, I think this is gonna work out very nice. Yeah, this is great. This is super satisfying. Put that off, put that off. Now, I left a little, there's a little bit of slop. A little bit of slop in this. Not much. I didn't replace the bushings in here. There's 2 bushings in there. I did replace the bushing on the pinion where it engages on the rack. So that's a new bushing. These are not, they're just a thou loose. It just shows up as, they're not bad. But anyhow, there's no oil in any of this. This is all dry. So I wanted to show you that. I'm quite pleased with how that looks. I'm super happy. I know I got to do something about that red oxide handle. I got to find something better, different. But anyhow, that looks good. It's a good size. This is bigger than the original, by the way. This is a, I don't know if that's 8-inch, 7-inch. But it's a light pattern cast iron. I had some aluminum ones. Wasn't sure if I liked them or not, whatever. This thing looks stellar. I know. Simple things get me all jazzed up. All right. I guess I'll stop talking about that, but I'm just super happy the way all this looks. All right. For now, Doozer Shop.